Zenkutsu Dachi. This is the breakdown and instruction for Zenkutsu Dachi. Zenkutsu Dachi is the front stance. In a front stance, the way we're going to get into this front stance, we're going to start with Shizentai, which is the normal stance. And to get into this stance, I have some lines that I've drawn on the floor they're wider than my shoulder width, but I'm going to put my feet on the sides of them, and my feet will be about shoulder width when I get into my stance. So you can put lines down at about 2 foot apart or 18 inches. It really depends on how tall you are, how long your feet are. So, I'm probably about, 2 or 3 inches past my Shizentai stance here with these lines down. But these lines are going to help me a little bit with this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this foot, my right foot, at a 45-degree angle. I'm going to step out with my front foot, and notice this foot is next to this line, pointed straight ahead. Now, something that's important here is this back foot. A lot of beginners, a mistake they'll make is they'll have this back foot too far, too flat, this direction at a 90-degree angle. And that doesn't allow our hips to move properly when we're punching or just moving through these stances, really. The hip movement is very important in the technique of a lot of our strikes and our blocks. So in order to get the proper hip movement in this stance, I need to have this foot at about a 45-degree angle. So you see I can turn my hips here. In this Gaikuzuki, which is a reverse punch. Here, hips are twisting. Okay, it's hard to get that twist with this foot turned out at 90 degrees. I can't get the proper twist. I can't get the proper dynamics in my punching here. So this hip movement is important in Zenkutsu Dachi. And I want to have the front knee is bent. Back leg is slightly bent also. But this foot at a 45-degree angle, about a 45-degree angle. This foot straight along this line. Okay, we should have a little bit of side pressure on this inside of this knee going out this direction. And on this back knee, we should have a little bit of side pressure going that way on the inside of this knee. We don't want this knee to collapse in on us this way or this one that way, either way. Okay, so that is the proper position for Zenkutsu Dachi. And remembering, this hip movement is going to become very important in our techniques and our punches when we're doing our Gaikuzuki or Oizuki from Zenkutsu Dachi. We'll look at this stance one time from the side here. I'm going to stand across this pattern here, this X pattern, so that when I move my foot parallel to it, that's going to be actually 45 degrees, okay, to my Zenkutsu Dachi. And I'm going to step out here. Okay, and I've got the side pressure. You can see a little bit from that we have some side pressure going on our legs here. My body is going straight ahead this way. Okay, now I have the hip movement here. When I strike, Okay, so that is the proper position, the proper way to be in Zenkutsu Dachi. We have about 60% of our weight on our front leg and about 40% back here on our back leg. Now, one way we can check this stance is we can bring this knee down. Now, this is just an approximation, of course, but if I go 3 fist lengths to 3, I should be in line, approximately in line with the heel of this back foot. Okay, and that's just a rough guide to tell me that I'm close to where this stance needs to be. And that's one way that you can check it. So that is Zenkutsu Dachi. It is a very fundamental stance for Shotokan Karate and is a great support structure for a lot of our punches and our blocks.